You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button.
All right, LSU, Texas A&M, Tigers head to College Station. They are a 1-point dog. You've seen the line come down from 3 to 1, so plenty of money on LSU in this football game. I'm going to say something that 4 weeks ago I never would have thought I would say. I think the difference in the LSU-Texas A&M game is LSU's defense. I think that is what it comes down to, a win or a loss for LSU. All the talk has been about A&M's defense and how good they are, and they are. This is not a shot at A&M's defense. They're very good. All I'm telling you is LSU's defense is closer to Texas A&M's defense than people would have you believe. Everyone looks at many different angles on how to evaluate defense. You have total defense. You have scoring defense. There's plenty. I think total defense is actually crap. It just tells you how many yards you give up. You can bend but don't break. That's a real thing. Scoring defense I like. I think that's a very good metric. But what I love is stop rate. I think that is the best metric to determine how good a defense is. It's very similar to scoring defense, but there are some things that are omitted. Stop rate boils down to the percentage of a defense's drives that end in punt, turnover on downs. How often do you get a stop? Texas A&M, through 7 games, has a stop rate of 67.7%. LSU is at 62.7%. Now, that's all the games. That factors in the FCS. I don't love to do that. What about in the Power 4? Well, it's a very similar ratio. A&M, 67.2. LSU, 63. About 4 percentage points difference. That's not a lot. And if you look at LSU's last 4 games, like I said, 4 weeks ago, I didn't think I'd be saying this. If you look at LSU's last 4 games, they have a stop rate of 68%. The improvement from this defense is marked. We talked earlier about the improvements they've made in stopping the run. And look, they're not going to stop Le'Veon Moss. He's good. He's really good. You're not going to stop him. But can you contain him? Yes, I think you can. And if you do that, you force Connor Wegman to beat you, and I don't think that he can do that. LSU has limited the big plays they've given up in the running game. You've had one run of over 20 yards allowed since the UCLA game. That was the 50-yarder to Ulysses Bentley against Ole Miss, and that was due to poor tackling. They have very much improved in their run fits, and I expect LSU to contain Le'Veon Moss enough to limit the Texas A&M offense. The other thing, and we talked about this earlier when Terrio was here, is the stage, and it absolutely matters. Texas A&M is not used to this spot. Mike Elko is not used to this spot. They've played in big games. They've coached in big games. None as big as this. Texas A&M always has these grand aspirations for what their season is going to be, and it just hasn't ever reached them. This is the closest they've been since they've been in the SEC. That's not a shot either. That's just fact. It's the Texas 8-4 jokes, right? That everyone loves to make. Not a shot. Fact. It's what they've been. This is their chance. But this is a huge stage that they haven't been on. Can that swallow them up? Sure. Even at home, you can get swallowed up by that moment. Mike Elko, the biggest game he's coached in as a head coach is when Notre Dame went into Duke last year. It was a big game. Undefeated matchup. Tight game. Good game. This is so much bigger. LSU, A&M under the lights at Kyle Field, both undefeated in the SEC in a 12-team playoff era. That Notre Dame Duke game doesn't even sniff the magnitude of this one. And I think that matters. LSU, on the other hand, Brian Kelly has coached in national championship games. Brian Kelly has coached in the playoff. LSU beat Alabama in an atmosphere similar to this just 2 years ago at home, and a lot of those guys are still on this team. Sage Ryan, Major Burns. Go down the Greg Penn, Kyron Lacey, your 2 tackles. Go down the list. All of them are there. I think LSU is equipped for the moment. And the other thing that I love, LSU has a bye week on the other half of this. They can go all out. They can leave it on the field because you have a week to rest and recuperate. You're in a great spot if you're LSU. Your defense is taking the next step. I think you're even enough there with A&M for that to be the difference in the football game. I like LSU in a close one. You know the offense is going to score. Can the defense make the stop? Give me LSU 27-23, and then we have a heck of a 2 weeks preview in Alabama.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.